Hello, everyone. My name is Will Case from the Varsity Sports Show here with Chaparral head coach Troy Gerlach. Coach, you guys are coming off a loss. How do you look to bounce back from that today?
Well, we've been playing pretty well. I mean, the kid for Notre Dame threw really well the other night, so it was a really good baseball game. We played well. We just came out on the short end, so hopefully we can continue to play well today.
And this is a non-region game. Is that going to play any part in how you manage today's game?
No, because it's that time of year. We got to win every game. I told the guys last week that every game we play is a playoff game, so just trying to get ourselves ready for the playoffs. We got 6 games left, and them being right down the road from us is kind of a rivalry game, so we got to play every game to win.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, appreciate it. Good.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization.
Hi, everyone. My name is Will Case here with Saguaro head coach, Coach Mickey. Coach, what have you guys been working on here at the end of the season that you hope translates for that playoff push and into playoffs?
Just one pitch at a time. Really try to be hyper-focused on the process. Don't overlook anything. Attention to detail. It's how you do the small things. It's how you do anything. So it's just that one pitch mindset. If something goes our way, great. If not, flush it. And either way, you just have to be prepared for the next one. So to truly lock into that and stay hyper-focused to our process.
And you guys are coming off a couple wins. How do you keep that momentum going into this game?
Same exact thing. Just be really competitive in the box, throw strikes, play clean defense. Really just have an aggressive mindset. Not play passive. It's a game of failure, but handle that failure and then prepare for success. So, but just stay truly competitive in all of our approaches and let's make aggressive mistakes.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome to a baseball 4A matchup between the Saguaro SaberCats and the Chaparral Firebirds. I'm Matthew Singer alongside Jorge Montiel. Saguaro has had back-to-back wins over Arcadia after a 3-game losing streak. Last had a 6-3 win at home against Arcadia, and Chaparral, after a 3-game win streak, lost 3-1 to Notre Dame Prep. Jorge, what do we need to look for in this game?
So both offenses need to get to a strong start. Both teams have great offenses, great batting lineups. They want to attack early in the pitching. So strategy for them is both the same. They want to keep their opposing batters to a minimum of hits, not let them get bad pitches to capitalize off of, and they both should do well.
All right, and the lineups for today, Chaparral, Gavin Mesa, Tanner Anderson, Luke Santarius, Devin Long, Jack Foley, Parker Halverson, Jahir Jensen, Jack Molina, Reese Soler, and for Saguaro, Louis Busseri, Chasen Neiman, Xander Bratspis, Alain Gomez, Kyle Miller, Jay Claver, Vinny Keck, Carter Bond, and Taichi Abino. We'll be right back after the national anthem.
Hey listeners, Vince DeLisio here. In honor of Pat's Run, this week is Pat Tillman Week on the Varsity Sports Show. Join us Saturday morning as we broadcast live next to the statue inside the north end of Mountain America Stadium. In addition to our amazing live guest coaches joining us, our team will be presenting stories about Pat Tillman. It's the Varsity Sports Show Pat Tillman Week, Saturday morning from 9 to 11 on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
And we are back to Saguaro versus Chaparral baseball 4A matchup. Players are taking the field. We're about to get started here. I think that this is going to be a really competitive game. What do you think, Jorge?
Yeah, well, the national anthem, the ballpark had some sounding issues, but just like America, the sound system prevailed, and we finally got the sound up there. As far as the game goes, this should be a competitive one. They're both going 11-9 into this one. Saguaro's third in their division. Chaparral is fifth. Saguaro is ranked 46 in Arizona. Chaparral is ranked 40. You got some big hitters here. Gavin Mesa for Chaparral is a big standout, and he'll be going up against Casey Williams, who has done a pretty good job on the mound in just 4 appearances. He's carved up an ERA of 1.00 in the amount of work that he's had, which has been 7 innings. So small sample size, but good signs of improvement and good signs of, you know, finding yourself on the mound, and he should be doing good in this one.
And we also heard that he has a knuckleball, so that should be very interesting to watch here today.
Yeah, not a lot of pitchers, especially at this level, throw a knuckleball. So having that in your arsenal, having that in your quiver, could prove deadly for these Chaparral hitters.
Yes, indeed. So Chaparral will be batting first. Gavin Mesa will be up to bat.
Yeah, so Casey Williams in his 7 innings of work has allowed 5 hits, one earned run, 7 walks, 5 strikeouts. So if anything, Casey Williams needs to watch how many people he walks, because we know in baseball, walking somebody is the biggest sin ever. Especially with a deadly offense, they'll make you pay for it. So he needs to watch his walks. Other than that, he should be good to go in this one.
All right, and we are off and running. Gavin Mesa up to the plate. And that'll be ball one.
Another challenge for a pitcher is finding out the strike zone. Every umpire has a different one. We know that. And there's no consistency most of the time.
Yep, as he throws another ball. Ball two, 2-0 the count.
Probably play it safe and throw a fastball here. So Williams, I mentioned his biggest struggle was walking people, and he's already 2-0 to this batter. He'll need to throw a strike here to fall out of that pattern of walking people.
Definitely, definitely.
Right now he's averaging walking one person per inning, so he needs to watch it.
The windup. Strike one there.
2-1 to count here.
And gets one up the middle. Mesa has a base hit to open this ball game.
Yeah, Gavin Mesa continuing to stack hits, bettering his 477 batting average. So he's just a deadly hitter up there. 17 RBIs, 6 home runs. Not the guy you want to make a mistake to, and he just showed you why.
Yep. And Tanner Anderson will now be up to the plate. Fouls that one off. 0-1 the count.
So Tanner Anderson batting .229 so far in the season, 11 hits, 5 RBIs, 1 double. So he is an RBI bringer for the team.
We'll see if he can hit a gapper to bring home Mesa here early. Throw back to first and safe.
And Alan Gomez, always the dangerous catcher. He will throw somebody out within a blink of an eye. Very solid catcher there behind home plate.
Very solid indeed. 1-1 the count. And that one gets past Gomez, and Mesa will take second.
And Gomez, he's usually so solid behind the plate. You really can't blame him on that one, though. That pitch was really wild and got back to the backstop, and Chaparral gets 90 feet further to their first run.
Yeah, barely got to the pitch, barely spiked at home plate.
Jason Williams needs to find his control here.
As it's 2-1. Hits one up the middle, easy ground ball, and he will be out.
Yeah, close play there at first. Good hustle there by Tanner Anderson, but he was just thrown out by a hair at first base.
Yep, and that'll move the runner to third. So the go-ahead run, 90 feet away. Luke Santarius up to bat now.
Yeah, Luke Centeria is batting .315 on the season so far.
Strike one to Santarius. 0-1.
Good pitch there from Williams, getting it from different look. You could just see that Centarius was not expecting that pitch.
Fouls that one back.
So Luke
0-2.
Centarius, dangerous hitter, hitting .315, 11 RBIs, 5 doubles. So once he gets a hold of one, it's going someplace.
Yeah, with that big frame, power seems to be a big plus for him. 0-2. Hits that one up the middle to short, and shortstop will mishandle it, and the runner will get home, and it'll be 1-0 Firebirds.
So good job there by Centarius, adding to his RBI total now of 12, getting the early lead for Chaparral. Tough play there.
Tough play indeed. Got a hop right in front of him, and just couldn't handle it. Now Devin Long up to bat. The DH. Strike one.
So Devin Long been struggling at the plate, hitting 200, has 2 hits, 1 double. Usually does most of his pitching on the field, not hitting. So interesting seeing him in the lineup.
And that one will bounce again, and his control has been really off so far.
Yeah, it's detrimental to a pitcher when you can't find the zone. When you keep throwing wild pitches like that, you're allowing runners to advance. You're putting your team in your tough position, and you're getting into hitters' counts.
As Santarius moves over to second, it'll be 1-1 the count with 1 out. Firebirds up 1-0. Strike two.
So you have to wonder if it's Williams' release point, if it's a mental thing right now, what it is that is prohibiting him from throwing strikes consistently.
Definitely. Gets that one to the outfield. That'll be made. Catch will be made, and the runner will not advance. 2 outs now.
A bit of tough luck there from Brad Space on that play that allowed the first Chaparral run when he came home. But good comeback there from Williams to let his team get the outs for him. 2 outs. He's 1 out away from getting out of this inning and preventing further damage from being done.
Jack Foley now up to bat. Ball one.
So Jack Foley hitting .224, 11 hits, 7 RBIs, 2 doubles. So we're hitting into the part of the lineup that's not as consistent with the hitting, but once they do hit, they're very dangerous.
And we'll see if he can drive in the run home here. Fouls that one back. 1-1.
Yeah, Foley making good contact there. He is the number 5 hitter, so he's in that position for a reason.
Yep.
He needs to straighten out that ball and potentially get another run home.
Ball low. 2-1.
And the key for Foley here is to stay patient, wait for your pitch. Don't try and help the pitcher out by
Nope.
swinging at bad pitches.
Yeah, if a pitcher's out of control, the last thing you want to do is give him a gimme. And there's strike 2 to Foley.
Good spot there from Williams, penning that corner, that inside corner.
Two and two the count. And that'll be ball 3, full count now.
Yeah, Gomez looking back at the umpire saying, you got to be serious with that call. and you got to wonder if that's just because he dropped it. What if he didn't drop it? Would it have been called a strike?
I think it's because he dropped it.
So Gomez and the umpire hash it out.
Full count now for Foley. And drops that one again, and it will be ball 4. So yet another walk for Kason Williams.
So Williams, the umpire, and Gomez straightening things out, probably discussing the zone and what do we need to look for, and okay, well, what's a ball, what's a strike, what the heck's going on here?
As Parker Halverson comes up to bat.
So Halverson batting .231, 12 hits, 10 RBIs, 2 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs. So not the guy you want coming up here with runners in scoring position.
As he gets a grounder right back to the pitcher, and that'll be the end of the inning. Firebirds up 1-0.
Hello, I'm Marshall Brown with Varsity Sports, and this week is a special one as we recognize an Arizona great, Pat Tillman. Out of college from Arizona State, Pat Tillman stayed in the Valley, going to play at the professional level with the Arizona Cardinals. His career was inspiring as he was drafted in the 7th round to play at the safety position. Pat would play for 4 seasons from 1998 to 2001. In those 4 seasons, Pat was known for his work ethic, intelligence, and most of all, his toughness. Over the 60 games played, he recorded over 340 total tackles, 3 interceptions, and 2.5 sacks. But it wasn't football that his career was known for. And 2001 was the day that went down in American history forever, the attack on the Twin Towers on 9/11. After this tragic event was when Pat Tillman made the decision that he's always been known for. He decided to walk away from a $3.6 million contract to enlist in the U.S. Army alongside his brother, Kevin Tillman. He would go on and serve and become an Army Ranger and serve overseas in Iraq and Afghanistan. He was a part of the 2nd Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, which was an elite operations force. While on tour, he would send letters home to those close to him, which were said to be thoughtful and showed his commitment to his country. Tragically, on April 22, 2004, in eastern Afghanistan, Tillman was killed in action. After his death, he was awarded the Silver Star and Purple Heart, recognizing his sacrifices. His story is a national symbol of his integrity and his service, and his legacy will not be forgotten and is shown all over Arizona. With Varsity Sports, I'm Marshall Brown.
And we are back to Saguaro versus Chaparral baseball here at Saguaro. Matthew Singer alongside Jorge Montiel. Chaparral just scored a run in the first inning, and Saguaro will now come up to bat. Luis Buceri now.
So Buceri doesn't have a lot of RBIs to his name, but has a good batting average of .333, and that's what you want out of a leadoff man. Get on base. Help the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th hitters move you around. Set the table. That's what you want in your leadoff hitter. Who cares about RBIs
Nope.
as far as leadoff hitter goes?
Definitely not. I'm sure Ricky Henderson didn't.
You may have a point there.
As Camden Evans will take the mound. Swing and a miss by Buceri. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, big hack there, trying to get on base immediately. But he just missed that.
0-1 the count. High ball there, 1-1.
So Camden Evans is another pitcher that doesn't have a lot of work done. He's got 6.2 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, no earned runs though. Walked 4, struck out 2. So
As a strike inside, it looked inside to me, but they called it a strike. What do you think about that, Jorge?
yeah, well the umpire's gonna be all over the place as usual. So what could be called a strike in inning number 2 could be a ball in inning 7. So you just don't know.
As the ball is fouled back, 1-2 the count.
But what I was saying to give you room to call to play was it's a pitcher's duel of pitchers that don't have a lot of experience necessarily this season. Both have around 7 innings work. Not a lot of sample size to pull from, but they've both performed admirably in their outings.
And that ball inside, 2-2 the count.
Thing about Evans though, compared to Williams, is that Evans seems to be going right at these guys. Doesn't care. You've seen his body language and his delivery. He's going right after the striker zone.
Yep. And he just gets a piece of that to stay alive here.
It was a good breaking pitch there. He had to slow his bat down almost just to make contact with it.
Yep. Two and two the count. Fouls that one back, just gets a piece on the upper part of the bat.
They doubled up on it, and he probably would have got him if he would have delivered that pitch lower in the zone because he already saw it high up. So once you see something, you can expect and prepare for it. But if you give him a new look, less chance he's going to hit it.
And golfs that one down the right field line. And he will get a base hit to start this inning.
Yeah, that play defensively was kind of all over the place. They couldn't determine who the outfielder should be throwing it to, but nonetheless, good relay there, holding the runner to first base.
And Xander Bratspis will be up to bat.
So Bratspis, he's up the hit, and we'll see what he can do with the runner on first base.
Strike one to Bratspis.
So Bratspis hitting 298 on the season. When he's on base, he scored 20 runs, 5 RBIs to his credit in this season. So really dangerous is the kind of guy you want up there up at the plate in these type of situations.
Oh, and that one hits him, and he will take first.
Yeah, I heard that ball connect with the shoulder all the way from over here, and we're what, 20 feet away?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, that was a loud hit by pitch, for sure.
It's like a firework went off in the stadium. You got to be serious.
Seems to be okay as he goes to first.
But that's the game. You know, sometimes you got to wear one, advance the runners. It gives a great hitter like Gomez a chance to hit, who's also hitting 298, 13 RBIs, leads the team with 2 home runs. So this is the guy you want up at the plate.
Yes, indeed, as Gomez will step up to the plate. Ball one, low.
You know, Gomez is already motivated because of the questionable strike calls and pass balls in that last inning. So he would love to cut the deficit here and even give his team a lead.
Yep. Ball low again. Trying to be careful around Gomez.
It's very clear. Yeah, he's not trying to give him something. He's not trying to give him a gimme, not a free pass. So he's just trying to work the corners, work around, but he can't find the spot.
2-0 the count.
Haters count here, so Gomez has to have the green light.
I would assume so. Low, ball 3.
See, and this is what makes hitters like Gomez so great, the discipline. Wait for your pitch. Don't try to be a hero. Just go as the game goes.
3-0 the
in the
count.
moment.
Think he has the green light here?
I think he does. Gomez is too good of a hitter, but then again, it is 3-0, so I think it's up to his discretion.
And he does get the green light and smacks that one down the line. Foul ball.
I love it when I'm right. So if he would have straightened that one out, that would have at least been a double. But
Oh, yeah.
unfortunately, he pulled it just a little much to the right.
Yeah, could barely see a touchdown from our angle.
But he knocked that one. Yeah, it's just he's too good of a hitter to just stand up there with a bat. This is the guy you want bringing in the runs.
Definitely.
13 RBIs. Can't just ignore that.
3-1 the count. And they will walk Gomez, and the bases will be loaded.
So both keys for both pitchers. Best way I can put that. And it's the same key. Don't walk people. And so far, that's been their Achilles heel for both of these pitchers in their minimum innings of work is walking folks.
And Chaparral's pitching coach will come up to the mound and talk with him a little bit, probably giving him the message, hey, you can't walk, guys.
Yeah, because what's a pain about being up one? We just got the lead. Now you're gonna walk 3 people and put us in a situation where we could be down a boatload.
Definitely. And Kyle Miller will come up to bat.
That's probably what's being discussed right now, quite frankly. And Kyle Miller again hitting 283, 10 RBIs. He's already in the double digits. He has bases loaded. Realistically, all he needs, if you want to play small ball, hit a sac fly, tie the game up. It'll be tied up 1-1.
I think he's looking bigger here with no outs.
He's looking bigger, but minimum, he don't have to do much to get a run in.
Definitely, as that ball will be high. 1-0 the count.
Thing about the Saguaro lineup is they make you throw pitches. They're not going to swing at pitches up here. They're not going to swing at pitches in the dirt. They're going to make you go to the zone.
Very disciplined as that one bounces in the dirt. 2-0.
Good stop there by the catcher. Because if that would have been a pass ball, guaranteed score.
Definitely, definitely. Hitters count for Miller. And he swings through that one, gets a piece of it, 2-1.
Yeah, you like to have that one back. But
Definitely.
just got a piece of it, went to the backstop.
Camden Evans really struggling out of the gate here. We'll see if he can pick it up. Still no outs in this inning.
If he doesn't watch his step, he's going to be toast.
And that'll be ball 3. So 3-1 the count to Miller. Bases loaded, no outs.
And as I mentioned earlier, this is a guy that's got 10 RBIs on the season already.
And a big RBI situation for him up here. And gets that one just foul. Full count.
That's the second time it happens. It happened to Gomez. Now it's happening to Miller. They are making great contact, great solid contact, but they are just pulling it. They're pulling it just a little too much in a foul territory.
The payoff pitch. Pops that one up and into the seats. So Miller will stay alive here, live another day.
You know, the audience has to constantly watch out for those pop flies because, you know, somebody could be walking and doink.
Yeah, definitely. These nets aren't very high up, so.
You know what makes me cringe is when you hear like a pop fly and then it hits somebody's car. Good Lord. Imagine you have to pay $200, $300 to replace a windshield.
As Miller gets that one into left field and caught, and the runner will tag, and it will be tied at 1.
It was a decent relay from the defense, but there was no chance of stopping Buseri from scoring.
Absolutely none. So we will have 1 out here now, and it looks like Kason Williams will bat.
See, I told you, man. I told small ball, sack fly, get the run in. Now we're tied. Here we go. And they still have 2 outs to work with. First, second, still occupied here. So Williams, not just a pitcher, but he's a dangerous hitter. Usually plays third base, hitting 305, has 12 RBIs on the season. Another RBI man with an opportunity to capitalize and even extend his record with RBIs. Usually has at least 1 RBI per game.
And he'll look to get a RBI here. Strike one to him.
So Williams, very patient hitter. Just how much of the Saguaro lineup is.
Gets that one down to third base. And that will be not a double play. They'll say he's safe, or no, they'll say he's out. We'll see as the umpires will figure this one out.
Yeah, Saguaro is just like their coaches are about to pop off. They're discussing it. They're reversing the call. He is safe at first base, is Williams. And just like that, the bases are loaded again. And if you're Evans, you probably want to slam your glove on the floor right there. That could have been a double play. You could have gotten an inning, but
Yep, now
bad
you got
throw messed that up.
now you got first and second after the force out at third.
With a dangerous hitter coming up, Jake Claver, hitting 333, 8 RBIs. You know, looking at this lineup and their batting average, it's almost hard to believe they have 9 losses.
It is, definitely. But seems like pitching has been the issue for Saguaro here this season.
Like, at least 90% of the people that I've read off are batting 298 or higher. 10 RBIs here, 12 RBIs there. I'm like, geez. Does anybody not have double-digit RBIs?
Jake Claver up to bat now. 2 outs, first and second. Fouls that one off. 0-1.
So if you take a look at Claver's batting stance, the way he's set up, the way he almost pulses, it's his timing mechanism. Every batter has their thing, but just the way he times and bounces his foot, that's how he times the pitcher. And watch when he explodes when the pitch is delivered.
And that'll be ball one.
That's what you want. And he has a great load. You extend, put your hands back, wait for your pitch, throw your hips, throw your hands, and knock the ball to wherever it is you're trying to knock it to.
1-1 the count. Swings through that one, but that'll be past the catcher, and it'll be second and third now. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, he went golfing on that one, but luckily for Saguaro, they do get some positives out of it. As Sinner took over third base. And just like that, it's second and third.
1-2 the count. Gets that one into center field, and that will drop, and both runs will score. We'll see if he's going 3. The cutoff throw, and he will be safe. A triple for Jake Claver. 2 RBIs. It'll be 3-1 SaberCats.
You know, momentum is big in this game. The SaberCats are running with it right now. They're acting like they just won the World Series over there. They are fired up.
As Vinny Keck will come up to bat.
So 3-0, and yet another opportunity to get another run in.
That ball will be in the dirt. 1-0 the count.
Well, we've established that Camden Evans, his ERA has just gone.
As we have the bullpen working here.
So Camden Evans, he came in here with a perfect ERA. Obviously, that was shot the heck with this inning, allowing 3 runs. And that's got to bother you to some degree. You come in, zero ERA, you give it 3 runs just like that.
Yep, and it's been quite a labor-intensive inning for Evans, so we'll see if he can get through this. And the count will be 3-0.
Evans getting frustrated now, talking to himself, can't find the zone. And that's something I talk about often with Will Case, one of our play-by-play announcers, the pitch efficiency. When you throw 30 innings or 30 pitches in an inning, it wears on your arm, and you're likely to stay in a less period of time in the game rather than, throwing 10 pitches here, 15 pitches there. So you're right about that, and look out for that.
Yeah,
we saw the bullpen warming up.
Could be a very short outing for Evans, as it's 3-1, and he will walk him, and we'll see if they decide to take him out.
It looks like Max Mangini is warming up in the bullpen.
As Carter Bond will come up to the plate.
And Gerlach has seen enough. He's seen enough out of Evans. His team is already down by 3. He cannot afford to leave him in there.
Nope.
So he's making a tactical decision here to go to the bullpen and relieve Evans.
And we'll be back when after this break.
And the pitch to Green, he loses it. He's in the end zone. Ball is still loose. It's going to be a safety. Pat Tillman had his hands on it.
Pat Tillman wasn't just a football player, he was a force. From the moment he stepped on the field at Arizona State in 1994, his intensity, leadership, and heart set him apart. With over 4 seasons in Tempe, Tillman was instrumental in the Sun Devils' evolution. ASU faced challenges in 1994, finishing with a 3-8 record, including a narrow 28-27 loss to the University of Arizona. In 1995, they did improve to 6-5, but they dropped another close one to the Wildcats, 31-28. Then came the remarkable 1996 season. With Tillman anchoring the defense, ASU dominated their regular season schedule, including a 56-14 win over Arizona in Tucson, their only victory over the Wildcats during Tillman's time. Pat Tillman had 4 tackles and a sack in that game, leading a defense that completely overwhelmed the Wildcats. The Sun Devils went undefeated in the regular season, won the Pac-10, and came within seconds of a national title, falling to Ohio State in a heartbreaking Rose Bowl finish.
Give it up in the last 30 seconds.
In 1997, Tillman capped off his college career by earning Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year honors. ASU finished 9-3, including a 28-16 loss to Arizona, but ended the season on a high note with a 17-7 win over Iowa in the Sun Bowl. But what truly defined Pat Tillman wasn't just his success on the field, it was what he chose to do after. In 2002, with a promising NFL career underway, Tillman walked away from a multi-million-dollar contract to enlist.
And we are back to Saguaro versus Chaparral after a pitching change. Pitcher will now be Max Mangini, and that'll be to right field, and the catch will be made, and that'll be the end of the inning. So a quick inning after that, and we'll cut to break.
Drives inside, loses the ball.
From Vince, I don't know how he does it. Everything that he's doing with so many different schools, all the equipment that he has, just everything that he's put together really all by himself. I have so much respect for everything that he's set up, and giving us the opportunity to do this has been great. And because if I didn't do this, not sure how I would really get into this field. So for Vince, just the amount of respect I have for what he does and how he was able to set everything up has been amazing.
Going the extra mile like he does, I mean, sometimes, I think that's important to do, going the extra mile with stuff, and try, even though this is, not ESPN or one of these bigger companies, kind of to have that mindset when it comes to a broadcast. We're trying to, just knowing on this level that the expectation is being a professional and acting like it, and there's obviously, it's not going to be perfect, but, just the importance of, doing your best work and that, you could always be better.
We started with, here in Arizona at least, we started with probably testing out a live stream with 5 football games in 2019. 2020, which was ultimately was the start of the pandemic, we grew and we added probably close to 30 games that year. 2021, we doubled to 60. 2022, we did 100. This year, we're on track to do 130. It means everything to me. It's not just.
And we are back to Chaparral versus Saguaro as Jahir Jensen is now up to bat. 0-1 the count.
So Kason Williams might have given up a run, but his team just supported him with 3. So now he's back in control. All he has to do is settle down, work the zone, keep that lead intact. See, there's another foul ball. See, he's going to ricochet off the fence. I'm telling you, those could kill somebody. Watch out, folks.
Watch out indeed. 0-2 the count to Jensen. Swings through that one, and that'll be a quick punch out for Williams.
Yeah, he swung at, I don't know what he was swinging at there, but it was dang near the floor. Way outside of the zone, helped him out, and just like that, Williams is in control. 1 out, nobody on base, just what you want.
Definitely, as Jack Molina comes up to bat.
So Molina hitting .316, 6 hits, 6 RBIs. So maybe we can get something started here for the Firebirds.
Check swing. They'll say he went. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, Molina cringed at that call. I didn't like that one whatsoever.
I'm not sure I did either.
You're supposed to be unbiased, Matt. So the count is 0-2, I think. Who knows? The scoreboard needs to get fixed
As
over there.
that'll be up the middle and won't get it in time. Throws it past the first baseman, and he will take second with that.
Yeah, just jogging over there. Probably the ball probably went into the dugout. That was a terrible throw. Rushed the play. That's why you rush the play. Molina is fast, and that's what he can do. Make fielders panic, feel like they get rid of the ball quicker, and make a mistake like that. And next thing you know, instead of having a regular single, he's up to second base.
Yep, and that wasn't an easy play, slow grounder, but maybe he shouldn't have attempted that throw. We'll see if it comes back to bite him. As Reese Solar now up to bat.
Reese Solar, 9th hitter, hitting .286, 10 hits, 13 RBIs. So good line for him. See if we can get another RBI right here.
1-0 the count.
And Solar, he's a small guy, so and that gives him an advantage because it's a tighter, smaller strike zone. Makes Williams have to adjust.
That'll be 2-0. So that nearly hit him.
And Williams isn't trying to intentionally do that, but the fact that he's, again, in a 2-0 count, when you just got the lead, that's got to be bothering him. Just to relax, find his spot, find his control, and drill the strike zone.
Swings through that one, 2-1.
Good pitch there. He needed it.
Definitely needed it. 2-1, 1 out. Runner on second. Pops that one up and out of play.
So you can see the audience just cringe and grab at their shoulders. I don't want to get hit.
I'm sure nobody wants to get hit by a foul ball.
No, I'm telling you, if we don't have our covering like we usually do, I'm gonna throw a fit.
Yeah, it could hit us right in the head. Thankfully, we do have a covering, though. The pitch. Fouls that one off.
Meanwhile, while I'm complaining about pop flies, Gomez takes one straight to the mask. I don't know how you play catcher, man. One of the toughest positions in sports, no doubt about it.
Definitely. A lot of wear and tear on your body.
You squat there for 7 innings in high school, 9 innings in college, and Major League Baseball. You take shots like that to the face.
As that will go to the pitcher, and he will mishandle it. Throws to first, but he is safe. So first and third, 1 out.
Yeah, Williams is absolutely peeved that he did not come up with that ball cleanly and throw that guy out at first.
And Gavin Mesa will now be up to bat. Mesa got a hit in the first inning to lead off.
And if you're Chaparral, this is who you want up at the plate. He's their best hitter, 477 average coming into this game, 17 RBIs, 1 triple, 6 home runs. Imagine if he had a home run right here.
That would be crazy. Ball 1 outside.
That would give Chaparral the lead, but Mesa knows that. I mean, he's a senior. He has experience in the league. He knows dang well it goes not to hit a home run every time you're up there. It's just to move the guys up, keep the ball rolling.
Looking for his pitch as he called strike right there.
Even count right now, which is good. You know, again, Williams' biggest struggle is walking people. So the more he can throw more strikes, the better off he's gonna be, in theory.
And that ball bounces, but Gomez is able to get that cleanly. 2-1.
Yeah, and Gomez, we've seen it time and time again. We do cover Saguaro baseball here at Varsity Sports Show quite often, and Gomez is always a standout player, always covering the pitcher when he can, stopping those balls, not allowing him to get to the backstop.
2-1 the count. Golfs that one. Right field. And that just hits the wall. And that'll be a double for Mesa. And it is 3-2 now, Saguaro. As runners are now at second and third with 1 out.
Yeah, that ball was on its way to hit that trailer truck back there, but what did I say? Power hitter, 6'3", RBI bringer. You didn't want anybody else up there besides Gavin Mesa, and he just delivered.
Yeah, I thought that was going out at first.
I was like, did I call it? I was like, nope. Fell about. Did it hit off the wall? I feel like it
Yeah,
did.
it went off the wall.
Missed it by 5 feet. That'd have been 5 feet higher. Had
Okay.
more elevation to it. It'd have been gone.
Yep, Tanner Anderson now up to the plate. Strike 1. Looking to take the lead here with 1 swing.
Anderson doesn't really hit for average, but he does hit when it matters. Again, 5 RBIs to his credit.
And it's certainly going to matter here. 1-1.
So Anderson, I mean, what I noticed about him right off the bat is his batting stance is very unique.
Yes, indeed.
He points the bat towards the pitcher, which I don't really see often.
No, you don't. And it reminds me of a certain player. I'm blanking on his name right now, but it looks very familiar to a major league pitcher, as that'll be outside for ball 2.
He settles in the box here. Looking to come through, get that RBI. I mean, a tie. The tying run is 90 feet away.
Gets that one up the middle, hits the ump. And that will be... How are they going to call this here?
They will... Wow. That is actually very crazy, I have to say. I've never seen an umpire undo an entire play because they hit an umpire.
No, I haven't seen that before either. And coach is going to come out to discuss this.
Because usually regulation is when it does happen something like that, you allow the runner to score, everybody moves up one spot. That's
Definitely.
it. So that's what you do. You don't stop and undo an entire play. That could have been a run.
That should have been a run.
It should have been a run. You know, head coach Gerlach is not happy with that.
Nope, not happy at all, as the bases are now loaded for Luke Santarius.
Even Santarius is like, you want to say that again? Nevertheless, it doesn't hurt to have bases loaded, only 1 out. So, still a great opportunity here for Centarius to capitalize and give his team quite possibly the lead, at bare minimum, the tie, if he's able to put this ball in play.
Ball one.
Yeah, it's a first for me. Never seen a whole play just stopped. I mean, technically, he made it to first, but they stopped the run from scoring. Never seen that happen.
And we're going to have a visit to the mound here, as Case and Williams and Saguaro do not want this to get out of hand here.
Yeah, because again, what did it do to Williams' psyche? This he was saved there by that call, but now he's got to deal with bases loaded. There's only one out. This can turn into a beatdown for him if he can't get the strike zone intact. We can't throw good pitches, work the zone, work the corners, make batters, struggle up there. He's gonna be in trouble.
Yep.
I mean, this Chaparral lineup is no joke.
And this is a big spot here for Santarius. 1-0 the count, 1 out, bases loaded.
Because Centarius, he's known for this. 11 RBIs, 5 doubles. And I bet you half of those RBIs have come from those 5 doubles. At least.
And that'll be strike one. 1-1 the count. Looking for his perfect pitch there.
You want to establish the zone. You want to attack the zone quick. You don't want to give a hitter's count to a hitter like Centarius.
Fouls that one into Saguaro's dugout.
Lord.
1-2.
Well, whatever his name is down there had to get out of the way quick. When he read that ball perfectly, he's like, no thank you. Ducked out of the way. Ricochets off the wall. Better than his face. I like our technical directors making sure our camera's all right and not the people.
And that'll be popped up. Gomez will make the catch.
2 out.
And 2 outs here, still bases loaded. And now Devin Long up to bat.
Devin Long up to bat now, as you mentioned. Devin Long hitting 200, 2 hits, 1 double. Usually does most of his playtime on the mound, but he will be hitting in the lineup today.
The pitch. And that hit him, and the run will score, and this ball game is tied.
Worst way as a pitcher that you let this game be tied, you hit him, and there it is. Free run, didn't even have to earn that.
Nope.
And just like that, this game's tied. I knew when I looked up at both lineups, both teams, that this is going to be a competitive match. We could be here all day because these teams are just that evenly matched. They both have an 11-9 record, 11 wins, 9 losses. As far as Arizona ranking state goes, Saguaro's at 46, Chaparral's at 40, so you can't get much more even than this.
As Jack Foley is now up to bat.
Yeah, Gomez tried to pick off Long there and dang near got him.
Yeah, that was a very close call, as it's now 1-0 to Foley. And that one bounces, almost gets away from Gomez. He is blocking a lot of pitches today, Jorge.
Yeah, and that's usually what he does. Gomez, if you ask head coach of Saguaro, Joe Mickey, he would tell you that's the best catcher in the league. And you're seeing why. He backs up his players. He doesn't allow a lot of pass balls. He sacrifices a lot for the team. A threat both up at the plate and behind it. So, great asset.
Definitely a great asset. 1-1 the count. Golfs that one into center field, but that one will be caught, and it will be the end of the inning. We'll be right back.
This is Brady Hanson for the Varsity Sports Show. This weekend, Tempe will host the 21st annual Pats Run to honor and celebrate the legacy left behind by the legendary Pat Tillman. As co-founder Perry Edgar details, this run started as a celebration of Pat's life and as a thank you to Pat and everything he had done.
People were yearning to have things to say about Pat, um, and they wanted to express themselves and kind of thank him for the things he'd done. So we kind of tried to find some way that people could express themselves, and that was the big reason behind it all.
Pat's Run is a length of 4.2 miles, representing the number 42 that Pat wore during his time in the maroon and gold. The run takes you around the city of Tempe and finishes off in Mount America Stadium, the same place where Pat started his collegiate career.
You're going to get a chance to legally rush the field instead of jumping over the fence and blowing by policemen. You know, you get to do some things that you just normally wouldn't do.
A mile longer than your traditional 5K, Pat's Run offers a little more challenge to the runners participating, but the post-race setup this year should offer a little more fun and community than your typical race.
But we've been able to up our game a little bit more this year, which is really cool. After the race, we changed the expo into a beer garden slash music area where we're going to have a band and we're going to have music. You can enjoy a drink or two if you wish. You can hang out. It now gives people the opportunity to stand around and talk and celebrate what they've accomplished with their 4.2 mile run and what memories they have of Pat.
And we are back to Saguaro versus Chaparral. Saguaro now up to bat. Taichi Ibino is now steps up to the plate with Max Mangini pitching.
Yeah, Bino hitting over 300 heading into this game, so Lord almost hit. Man, we've seen a lot of close hit by pitchers here today.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. As it's now 2-0 to Bino.
At least it's not cold, because it's always worse when you get hit in cold weather.
Oh, definitely.
When it's hot, yeah, it hurts, but at least it's not as bad.
3-0 the count now to Bino.
Yeah, Bino, an infielder and a pitcher for Saguaro, so he does it all. The sophomore sitting at 6 feet tall.
And that'll be strike one to Bino. 3-1.
Man, Mangini better get it together here. Can't issue a free pass. So Mangini,
as that'll be hit to short. And an easy out there.
So good omen there for Mangini. Both quick outs, the last inning that he came in and now this. So doing really good, but if you thought that Mangini coming in to relieve Camden Evans was, oh my gosh, it's the greatest thing ever if you're a Chaparral fan, well, you might want to buckle up your seatbelt, because Mangini has an ERA of 7.87. He is 1-0, however.
As Luis Busseri comes up to the plate. Fouls that one back, 0-1.
He has a great opportunity here to improve his ERA, because he's only pitched 2 2/3 innings, allowed 5 runs, gave up 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. So not a big sample size at all, but if he's able to do well here in this game, he'll lower his ERA.
Definitely, as it's now 1-1 the count. Fouls that one off. Just gets a piece of it, 1-2.
Yeah, Busseri was frustrated. He couldn't get that one out to the outfield. He'd love to have that one back. He feels like he just missed it. Could have done something with that one.
1-2 the count. Swings through that one. Catcher can't find the ball. Has to go to first. And it goes past the first baseman, so a strikeout that ends up putting the runner on first.
You know, Gerlach didn't like that play. That was all over the place. Catcher can't take in the ball. It goes over his head. Buseri's getting down to first. The catcher throws it right at the first baseman, Luke Centarius. And Centarius is acting like there's nothing coming towards him.
As Xander Bratzfist will come up to bat.
Centarius was not expecting that throw whatsoever, and it really shocks me because, I mean, at first base, you got to be watching that play, right?
Definitely, definitely. As the ball goes into the dirt, 1-0 the count.
He just stood there looking like a deer in the headlights, and one got past him, and that was the end of that conversation.
Yep.
Instead of there being 2 out for Mangini, there's only 1.
And that one just hit him. So Ratspis will take first. First and second, 1 out.
Yeah, Brass doesn't look too happy about that whatsoever.
No, he does not. And look who is up for Saguaro. Alain Gomez.
Alain Gomez is one dangerous man up at the plate. And you know, he's frustrated. Pass balls this, pass balls that, tough pitches there, errors here. He wants to win.
He wants to come through here for sure.
If you've interacted with Alain Gomez ever, that's his main priority, winning and helping his team get there.
We'll see if he can get a base hit to take the lead here. Strike called. 0-1 the count.
Gomez doesn't really agree with that. He thought that was high. But then there's a lot of that going around, isn't there?
Definitely, definitely. Even the scoreboard might have thought that was a ball.
Tell you, you talk to some of these players that wish the automatic balls and strikes thing came to high school level.
I wish it came to the major league level in regular season as he fouls that one back. 0-2.
Just late on that one was Gomez, as he tries to put his team ahead in this situation. First and second.
0-2 the count. And gets that one to left field, down the line, and caught. Runners will not advance. 2 outs here.
Yeah, he got under that ball. Didn't really get a lot of torque in that one. He hit it hard, but not as hard as he could have. Got just under it. Had a way more of a pop fly trajectory to it, not really a line drive, type of hit, and gave the left fielder enough time to get over there, take it in, and get a big out there for Chaparral.
Definitely, as Kyle Miller now comes up to the plate. 2 outs, first and second.
I mean, if you're a big Firebird fan watching this, if you think you're out of the trenches yet, you're not. Miller hitting almost the exact same ball.
But the left fielder unable to get there.
It was further out, though, in foul territory.
Definitely further out, but unable to get it. Still 0-1 the count.
So Miller, again, double-digit RBIs on the season, trying to tack on more runs and get the lead for the SaberCats here in the bottom of the second inning.
Won the count to Miller. Steps off.
And that's sometimes what you need to do as a pitcher. Reevaluate where you're going, calm down, because the pitcher controls the pace of the game.
Strike 2.
And he looks like he needed that reset. Beautiful pitch there, landed right in the zone. 0-2, pitcher's count.
1 strike away from ending this inning. And that'll be a ball up and out. 1-2.
That was head level. But when you got the count 0-2, you can basically do what you want. You can throw anything you want, so bit of a waste pitch there.
Pitch. Foul.
Yeah, Miller making him work here. Man, Giddy not getting light reps here. He's making him work.
Definitely. Hasn't been easy work for any of these pitchers so far.
Yeah, because both these offenses are so dangerous. They're so disciplined. They come up in big moments. So as a pitcher, that's what's going to make the difference, I believe. Which pitching staff is going to
As he
deliver?
goes back to second and goes into the outfield, but the runner does not advance.
It was going to be a heart attack.
Yeah, almost got him at second.
Okay, I got my. Yeah. The positioning there on the defense, I might have cost him that out.
As Miller golfs that to center. And that'll be the end of the inning. We're tied at 3 here. We'll be right back.
I'm Colby Miltenberger reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Many people know Pat Tillman for the amazing successes he's had throughout his football career in college and in the NFL, or for his ultimate sacrifice he made for this country. But what is often forgotten or less talked about is his interesting and impressive high school career. Tillman wasn't always set on football. In his freshman year of high school, Tillman was still yet to hit puberty and had more of a slimmer build. At the time, he was more focused on baseball, but after getting told he wouldn't make the varsity team, he decided to focus on football for the rest of his high school career. Tillman was the only sophomore to get pulled up to varsity, and he brought a lot to the team. He played running back, linebacker, and was a kick returner, but the most valuable thing that he brought was his intensity. In a playoff game where Leland was up 55-0 at halftime, Tillman had been told by his coach, "Pat, you're done for the day. I don't want you playing any more offense or to play any defense." So in the next special teams play, he subbed himself back in as a kick returner and proceeded to return a kick for a touchdown. Walking back to the sidelines, he said to his coach, "You mentioned nothing about special teams," resulting in his helmet being taken for the rest of the game in order to keep him out. However, despite Tillman's work ethic, he had gotten little attention from Division I recruiters in high school. With being smaller in size at 5'11 and 195 pounds in his senior season, he still managed to get the attention of San Jose State, Brigham Young University, and Arizona State University. Tillman experienced high levels of success in his 1993 senior season, not only as a player, but with his team as well. Leland High School went 12-1 on the season and won its first sectional championship in over 20 years, with Tillman impacting all aspects of the game. That season, Tillman got involved in the offense through the air and on the ground, scoring 14 rushing touchdowns and averaging 10.9 yards per carry for a total of 623 total rush yards on the season. In the receiving game, he averaged 25.7 yards per reception on 27 receptions for a total of 694 receiving yards and 12 receiving touchdowns. Defensively, he tallied 110 tackles with 10 sacks and 3 interceptions, and on special teams, he returned 3 kicks for touchdowns that season. Tillman was honored with the Sectional Co-Player of the Year award and got a defensive first-team all-sectional team selection that season, and ultimately did just enough to be the last player to get a football scholarship from ASU. Thanks for listening to learn a little bit about Pat Tillman's high school athletics journey with me. I'm Colby Miltenberger reporting for the Varsity Sports Show.
And we are back to Saguaro versus Chaparral. You just saw him at the plate, and now you'll see him at the mound. Kyle Miller now pitching for the SaberCats.
Yeah, the junior, usually known for his batting average and his RBI intake. Now he's on the mound. So let's take a look at what he's done on the mound. He's got a 3 ERA, only 4 appearances, so not a lot to work with here. He's pitched 4.2 innings, allowed 6 hits, 2 earned runs. He struck out 4 in his line of work so far this season. So we'll see how he fares tonight against the Firebirds.
And we'll see as Parker Halverson comes up to the plate. Strike 1 called, 0-1.
Good start for Miller. Easy delivery, throws a fastball in there, no problem. And that's what you want to see if you're in both dugouts, just some control.
Strike 2.
Good delivery there.
Very good delivery.
Same spot, doubled up, which usually is advocated against because, you don't want to double up on a good hitter. Because they see it once and know what's coming.
And that one will bounce, but Gomez will block that one again. 1-2.
He was like, I know there's nobody on base, but screw it. I'm going to block it anyway, just out of force of habit.
Yep. blocks that one again, even though there's nobody on base. 2-2.
I'll give Miller this. He's very consistent. The delivery that you saw where he threw 2 back-to-back strikes looked the exact same. He goes out of control. He misses the exact same way. Bounces to the plate. It's like we might as well just ran a replay on there.
2-2 the count. As he hits that one, center field, deep, and caught at the warning track.
Yeah, good read there by the center fielder. Going back on it, tracking it, and that's what you want to do. When the ball's up in the air, step to your side, take a couple of steps back, get under the ball, come in, take it in, and he did that perfectly there.
J.R. Jensen now up to bat.
So J.R. Jensen
swings through that one.
Usually a overlooked part of the lineup, hitting about 260 now. Still a really good hitter. 9 hits. He's got 3 RBIs to his name.
High ball, 1-1.
He will drive it. This is one of those individuals where you don't see coming. He's just a sophomore, so. Did a breakdancing move out of the way on that one.
2-1 the count.
So let's see if Jensen can get some started for the Firebirds here.
Ball high, 3-1.
Good discipline here, making the pitcher work, not helping him out, so we can have pitches up way up at his head or in the ground.
And he walks him, so Jensen will take first.
I don't know what it is with this game. Maybe there's a curse on the pitchers, but they just want to walk everything.
Yeah.
Because both sides, it's like, we should have kept a tally of how many walks the Saguaro pitching staff has given up and how many walks the Chaparral pitching staff has given up.
It's been a lot so far. As Jack Molina will now step up to the plate.
So Molina reached on base last time.
Showing bunt, but that ball outside, 1-0.
Not a bad idea, advancing the runner.
Nope, not at all.
They would have to work with 2 outs, though.
Shows bunt again, but that gets past Gomez, and the runner will take second.
Yeah, Gomez is just going to need that one as Jensen takes second, and that's so big right now. 3-3, top of the third. Runner now in scoring position for Molina.
2-0 the count.
Hitting over 300.
Showing bunt again, but that hits the ground, 3-0.
So Molina and Miller going head-to-head. Miller trying to keep this a tie game, and Molina trying to give the Firebirds the upper hand.
And that'll be strike 1. Molina not sure about that one.
Yeah, I think both teams would tell you on this microphone that they are not happy with the job that the umpiring crew has done tonight.
Nope. As that one misses, and Molina will take the walk.
In fact, I think we can make a show out of the amount of complaints that both teams would have today.
Oh, definitely. As Reese Solar now comes up to bat for the Firebirds.
All right, Solar is up to hit. I'm acting like I'm cheering him on, but that wasn't my intention. Hitting over 280. Again, has double-digit RBIs, so he can add to that total.
That'll be a throwback to second, but safe. Ball 1.
Yeah, and Gomez, I'm telling you, you better not fall asleep on that base path, because next thing you know, you're done.
No, he's got quite an arm.
And he'll throw it over there when you least expect it, so you want to be on your toes if you're the Firebirds up on that base path.
Yep, definitely can't take too big of a secondary lead with Gomez there. 2-0 the count now.
So again, Kyle Miller falling to the pattern that we've seen in this game where pitchers just cannot find the zone.
And that one golfed, and that will drop in between the right fielder and center fielder.
Good relay there by the SaberCats, not allowing the runner to score, although they will have to deal with a situation that has the Firebirds with bases loaded.
1 out, and Gavin Mesa up to bat, their most dangerous hitter. This is not the situation you want if you're Saguaro.
Yeah, Mesa is looking to drive this ball to New York, and he might just do that, and he's totally capable of doing that. But the thing is, Miller's not throwing a lot of strikes, so he has to be wary of that, because if you swing at bad pitches, you're just gonna help him out. So the thing for Mesa is, and you'll probably do this anyway, wait for your pitch, stay disciplined, and drive a ball that you like.
Absolutely. As he'll take that first pitch, 0-1.
Good pitch from Miller there. A little bit of breaking action.
Oh my, center field. Going back is the outfielder, and that drops, and look, that is big, big trouble as 2 runs will score, and now it is 5-3 Firebirds.
He drove that one. The minute you saw that ball jump off the bat, you could just see Miller's face like, oh, dang. What just happened? And now guess what? The Firebirds are up by 2 runs. He destroyed that ball. And now they got an opportunity to even do even more damage. You know what's crazy is? There's only 1 out.
Yep, as there will be a visit to the mound.
This is tough for Saguaro. I mean, we did see Lobianco warming up in the bullpen along with Miller while Miller was in the bullpen. So maybe the pitching coach is asking Miller just to hold on a little bit more to give Lobianco some time to warm up, but it's up for debate whether they can afford that or not.
Definitely, but it looks like they will stick with Miller. And it will be second and third, 1 out, 5-3 Firebirds, and Tanner Anderson will be up to the plate.
Yeah, and it doesn't get any easier for Miller. I mean, Mesa is the worst of the worst to deal with up there, but again, this is a lineup that has a lot of depth and has a lot of hitters that can produce runs in key situations like this.
He'll take strike 1, 0-1.
So ideally, Miller would be looking for a strikeout.
Ideally.
So as far as
showing bunt down the right field line, and the first baseman mismanages it, and the run will score.
Busiri bobbled that ball. He should have had that play at home. Couldn't do it. Tried to get it over the first. Couldn't do that either. And now you're in a situation where it's 6-3. You still only have 1 out. And this situation keeps getting worse and worse for the SaberCats. But as far as the pitching situation goes, Anthony Gilligan is in the bullpen right now, the right-hander, working on, trying to get warmed up and relieve Miller because it is not going Miller's way right now.
Not going his way at all as Luke Santarius comes up to bat. Pops that one up. Shallow. And the catch is made. 2 outs.
Yeah, that would have been a home run if you were in an elevator shaft because that was shot straight up. Didn't go very far, but had the height of a skyscraper.
And now Devin Lawn up to bat.
So Miller will get a little bit of a break here. That's 2 outs. All he needs to do is get 1 more, and he'll be out of this inning.
Strike 1 to Lawn. 0-1.
So Miller doing a good job establishing his pitches in this at bat, getting ahead in the count. You want a quick out here if you're Miller.
And the runner is going to third. Both runners actually are stealing. Safe at second and third. So it'll be second and third now. 2 outs, 1-1 the count. Gomez not happy about his throw.
It was close, and Gomez, his body language indicated that he thought he had him.
Yep.
He took off his helmet, started to take a step towards his dugout, called him safe, and now he's getting on his last nerve now is what's happening over there.
That one bounces, but Gomez blocks it. 2-1.
So 2 out, 2 on.
Or
are they going to intentionally walk him, or was the scoreboard just off all that much?
Looks like they're going to intentionally walk him for Jack Foley.
So they want to walk Jack Foley.
So the bases will be loaded here. 2 outs.
So Devin Long gets the walk. Jack Foley comes up. Interesting there because as far as batting average goes, Foley's is actually better by a good 20 points. So I wonder what the thinking is here.
And strike, and getting back to the base. He
Got him.
Does not get back in time.
Wow.
So 6-3 Chaparral. We will be back with the bottom of the third inning.
I'm Evan Rodriguez from Arizona State University, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show, here to give you guys a little preview on UFC 314 that's happening this Saturday. This pay-per-view is stacked, so we got a lot to get into. Let's get into it. In the main event of the evening, it features arguably the best featherweight of all time, Alexander Volkanovski, going up against the number 3 ranked contender and also rising star prospect, Diego Lopez. These two will be facing off for the vacant featherweight title because Ilia Topuria, who was the previous champ, moved up to lightweight. Volkanovski is coming off from 2 back-to-back KOs, one coming from the current lightweight champion of the world, Islam Makhachev, and the former featherweight champion of the world, Ilia Topuria. It's going to be interesting to see how he responds coming off 2 back-to-back brutal KOs. On the other side, Diego Lopez has been on an absolute tear. Lopez is currently on a 5-fight winning streak, climbing up the rankings, and his last major win was against Brian Ortega back at UFC Noche in September. This is a very interesting matchup to see how Volkanovski can recover from his KOs against a major rising star. The co-main event is also a banger, featuring 2 exciting lightweight fighters in Michael Chandler and Paddy Pimblett. Michael Chandler is one of the most exciting fighters to watch in the UFC because of how powerful he is. However, his lack of fight IQ is the crucial reason why he has a negative 2-4 record in the UFC currently. Chandler's last win came all the way back in 2022 against Tony Ferguson when he head kicked him in the face, but that's not that impressive because Tony Ferguson ended his career on an 8-fight losing streak.
And we are back to Chaparral versus Saguaro here at Saguaro. Kason Williams up to bat here, and quite a play we saw by the catcher Alain Gomez to end that inning.
You know, I was going to explode if he didn't mention that. He nailed him at second base. It was crazy. He threw, a gem to second base the first time around, but didn't get the call. Throws another one, JT Realmuto type play there, got him out, and you saw the confidence that he walked off with. That was an amazing play to end off that inning. And you just made something that's so awesome. Sounds so mid.
3-0 the count to Kason Williams.
Nah, I'm just playing. Matt's great.
Back to the pitcher, and that'll be an easy out.
See, that was good. Matt's great. He's great. You know, this has been a great game. The only thing I can't stand about it is the amount of flies that are coming at me.
Oh, yeah. As Jake Claver comes up to the bat.
So Claver over 300 is his batting average.
As he fouls that one.
Yeah, Mickey kind of teasing everybody was going to barehand that foul ball. That would have been something to say, wouldn't it?
Definitely.
I wouldn't even dare.
Nope. That's a bruised hand right there for me. Claver just gets a piece of that one, 0-2.
0-2 on Claver, and that's what you need over here. That's what Mangini needs. Because the last thing you want to do is walk people, and that's been a problem for both bullpens. I can't harp on that enough, but anybody who watches baseball knows dang well nothing ever good happens when your bullpen is continuously walking people. Jeez, Lou.
As he gets that one down the right field line and foul.
I was like, if that's fair, that's gone. Well, he knocked the stuffing out of that ball, but unfortunately for him, it went foul, and we're going to have to start this thing again. 0-2, the count. Good hit there.
Yep, gets that one down the left field line. He's not going to go for two, but great piece of hitting there by Claver.
Yeah, the Chaparral defense, again, doing a heck of a job getting that ball in there quick back to the infield, not allowing him to go for two. Because that one was like a torpedo.
Oh, yeah.
Shot out of there. The ball was hit so hard that it actually curved.
Yep.
It was a good job there by the left fielder to read that, go to his right, throw that ball back in, and only allowing the runner to get to first and not to second.
Then he Keck up to bat. Throws back to first. Safe. Almost got him there.
Yeah, Mangini trying to say, hey, Gomez, I can do that too. Unfortunately for him, though, it didn't work out.
Strike one.
Oof, that would have been a frame job right there. Looked low to me, but
yes.
good framing there by the catcher.
Definitely.
By Molina.
Strike two.
Wow, this back-to-back calls like by the umpire, basically taking the bat out of the hands of Keck.
0-2 now to Keck.
Keck is now in a tough position because he has to protect the plate. I mean, you see the calls that have been given.
But that ball outside, 1-2.
He took a risk there by not swinging at that because that was kind of close.
It was. Throws back to first again. Just barely able to corral that, though. One, two, the count. And golfs that one into center field. And that'll be caught for the second out of the ball game. I mean, of the inning.
So Keck he lines out to center field. 2 outs. Mangini looking pretty good this inning, settling down. Not too many balls thrown that are costly. No walks issued. Throwing strikes. And his defense take care of it. Good piece of pitching here by Mangini.
And we'll have a pinch hitter here, Kingston Sinner.
So Sinner coming into the game. Not a lot of at-bats. Doesn't usually get to be in the lineup. But when he does...
Throws back to first again, and the ball gets past the first baseman, just like it nearly did in the last at-bat. And Claver's going to take second there.
See, and this is the kind of thing that it just is incredible. Both teams, it's like they're mirroring each other. They're so evenly matched. They make the same mistakes. They do the same things right. It's incredible. It's like they're playing themselves. Sabercats and Firebirds, two of the same.
As we have a quick mound visit here.
I mean, Mangini only needs one more out, so that's probably what he's telling Mangini and his catcher there. Maybe formulating a pitch sequence that they want to throw.
Yeah, scouting report perhaps that they have on center.
No way they just built up whatever it takes and then just cut it.
That was something there.
I was getting all pumped up for the song and they just, not today. You gotta be kidding me. Me and the sound guy may have to have a conversation about that one.
Ball high, 1-0.
So center hitting .212 on the season, 7 hits, 4 RBIs, 3 doubles, 2 triples. So when he hits it, he hits it.
Great block there by the catcher.
His center was obviously known for his speed as well. We saw him pinch run earlier in the game, so it's no surprise that they have him up there with a bat this time.
2-0 the count.
Because if he does get on the base path, it could be trouble.
Claver's taking an interesting lead here.
He's way off the bag.
Fouls that one back.
Let's not hit anybody in the head.
And out of play.
I wish we had a third camera to just demonstrate the look on people's faces when there's a foul ball hit.
That would be interesting. 2-1 the count.
So Mangini might have been onto something there. Maybe he kept throwing to first because look at the kind of lead he's taking at second.
Yep. We'll see if he throws again. Gets that one and it hits the pitcher's leg, but to first, and that'll be the end of the inning. 6-3 Chaparral. We will be back with the top of the fourth.
Hi, my name is Zano Kazano with the Varsity Sports Show. Today I got the chance to talk with Saguaro's very own baseball coach and special ed teacher, Joe Mickey. How long have you been coaching and teaching at Saguaro?
So I've been at Saguaro. This is my 12th year in special education at Saguaro. My first couple years teaching at Saguaro were in the social, communicative, academic classroom, which is obviously students with autism. It's been a unique opportunity to be able to blend both athletics and the special education world.
Your work with Miracle League of Arizona, do you want to, for those who aren't familiar, talk about it?
It's an awesome organization that partnered with, I know, a few local communities that I also realize now is a nationwide organization that I was unfamiliar with, but I know they partnered with the Diamondbacks here and built a few fields. They're all turf fields, so you can wheelchair accessibility. It's really pretty remarkable. And so you just watch the game of baseball being played by every possible person that wants to put a bat in their hand and swing and run bases, and it knows no barriers.
The baseball team wears colors for Autism Awareness Month.
The jerseys themselves, they have the blue ribbon on them. They're the puzzle pieces, so you'll see the puzzle pieces of the various colors, and I know that has been kind of during that time more the focus of what autism awareness is. I know it's transitioned a little bit into a butterfly for the idea of change and diversity of the autism spectrum. And so my next goal in this next go around is hopefully getting another set of autism awareness jerseys, maybe incorporating the butterfly for our next set, for the next following year, 25, 26. Especially the younger you are, try everything. Don't be afraid to fail.
Oh, and we are back, and Jack Foley gets one to left field, and that one, he will go to second on that one. Wow, hit to the wall, quite a hit there.
He absolutely killed that freaking ball. That outfielder had no chance, and I'm surprised he got that close. To be quite honest with you, but good play there, good relay, because if that would have gotten over his head, hit off the wall, rolled to the right or left of him, that could have been a triple.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
played it the best he could, but yeah, we're starting off this inning with fireworks. I mean, geez, bullets have left guns slower.
Parker Halverson now up to the plate. Gomez able to save that one, 1-0.
Yeah, Halverson is looking to cash in on an RBI opportunity here and extend the lead because, again, Saguaro, what everybody may forget is that they're defending champs. They're 2024 state champions. 3 runs, let me tell you something, that's not enough to guarantee a win over the SaberCats. So, let's just get that right, folks. And other SaberCat fans, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Those comeback wins, they're known for that.
Absolutely. Lead can never be too big. 1-1 the count. Showing bunt. Down the first base line. Miller does not throw, and all runners are safe. First and third, no outs.
It was tough for Miller because first base was not being covered by a Bino. And you're taking a risk when you don't see somebody at first. You throw it. Guess what? Now it's going to go into the dugout, and then they have an extra base.
Absolutely.
So defense getting sloppy here now in the top of the 4th. So I don't know if you can blame Miller on that one.
No, you can't. That was a tough ball to field.
Tough ball to field, tough situation. I mean, you can argue he made the right call there.
Absolutely. And Jensen to center. And a run will score on that one. Sac fly. 7-3 Firebirds.
Yeah, the Firebirds soaring closer to victory now. 4-run lead. They're down by a boatload. And number 4, Jack Molina comes up. So I mean, we've seen how dangerous Molina and the rest of the Firebird lineup is. So they're just gonna keep tagging on runs. You want them to stop scoring? Get them out.
Absolutely. Shows bunt again down the third base line and caught! Oh my goodness!
Wow.
By Gomez, and he gets the runner at first. I do not believe what I just saw.
He dove for the ball, caught it, got right back up, looked at us, and then threw it at first. He's like some superhero type stuff I'm seeing out here.
Unbelievable. As we will cut to break. Bottom of the 4th inning incoming, 7-3 Firebirds.
This is Brady Hanson from Arizona State University with the Varsity Sports Show, and if you're like me, you've probably heard of these new torpedo bats taking the MLB by storm. So let's break down what these torpedo bats actually are. To demonstrate what the torpedo bat does, I've brought a normal barreled bat. And as you can see here, the normal barreled bat usually has the thickest part of the wood at the end of the bat. What the torpedo bat does is that it moves the thickest part of the barrel to wherever the hitter hits it most often. So when they do hit that spot on the bat, the ball's going to have a higher exit velocity, which increases their probability of getting a hit. So what kind of results have the torpedo bats been yielding so far this season? Well, these bats first came into the light when the Yankees put up 20 runs on 9 homers against the Brewers on March 29th. You know, that's nothing too impressive. Jazz Chisholm has been one of the most improved Yankees with the torpedo bat so far, as he's already boasting a .313 batting average with 3 homers only 4 games into this season. Another player who's seen better results with the torpedo bat this season is Adley Rutschman. The Orioles' backstop struggled at the plate last year with only a .709 OPS, his worst offensive season to date. But now with the torpedo bat, he's off to a hot start with 2 home runs, both coming on opening day, and a .967 OPS in 5 games played so far. The league has deemed these bats as legal, and with that decision being made, I expect a lot of teams to jump aboard this trend for the rest of the year. For Varsity Sports, this has been Brady Hanson.
And we are back to Saguaro versus Chaparral. Chaparral currently up 7-3 as Abino gets a hold of that one, but an easy play for the right fielder, as that'll be the first out of the inning. But quite a play by Alain Gomez that we saw last half inning.
Yeah, no, that was ridiculous. I mean, like I said off the air, and I'll repeat it. It's superhero type stuff. The batter, I forget who it is now, but he bunted it, went up in the air, 3 feet, maybe 3-4 feet in the air. Gomez takes off his mask, times it, dives, catches it, hops back up, looks at us, and then throws it out. Throws the guy out at first base for a double play.
Busseri now up to bat. Strike one.
Are you freaking serious? You know, if the SaberCat fans are going to take away anything from this game so far, it's going to be Gomez. I mean, that'll hit the highlight reel 10 out of 10 times.
Absolutely. He's a stud.
You better have gotten that, Will.
As Busseri gets that one up the middle. Nice play for the second out of the inning.
Very nice play there by Halverson. Showing off his defense. Diving for that ball, hopping back up, throwing him out at first. Good defense being shown here this inning. See, it's like they're matching each other.
Definitely.
Bratspis.
As Xander Bratspis will come up to the plate. Ball one to him.
So at least there's been one pitcher in this game, Mangini, that has found some sort of a heartbeat here, some sort of a rhythm to at least continue to pitch multiple innings.
And just foul.
I was like, I think I'm going to keep talking because it went foul. It been called. I was like, yeah, no, it's foul.
That would have been an extra base hit easily if it had stayed fair.
Oh, yeah. And that's what the SaberCats need. They need some life here.
Definitely.
I mean, if that play by Gomez the last half inning doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will.
I'm not sure what will either. Definitely a morale booster. 1-1 the count. Two and one now as that one hits the dirt.
Yeah, Max Mangini, man. At least trying to finish out this inning, trying to get that bullpen arrest. I think if it was up to head coach Gerlach, he would go the rest of the game if possible.
Fouls that one off. 2-2.
Yeah, right off the catcher again, making sure he's all right. And again, last position I'd want to play in baseball.
Absolutely.
Catcher.
Tried it one game in Little League. Couldn't last the inning. I don't know how these guys do it. I really don't.
Yeah, I looked at it and I was like, no, thank you. I'd rather play the outfield.
Absolutely. As we go full here, payoff pitch incoming.
Yeah, 3-2 to count. Good battle here from Mangini. 3-2 the count.
The payoff pitch for Bratspis. And he will walk him.
Now you could take him when you get him, man. And here comes Gomez. Because, again, this is get something started here. Man on first. A hitter like Gomez coming out here. Let's see if he can be so much of a stud at the plate as he was as a catcher.
We'll see, but I believe he absolutely can if he's as fired up as he looked after that last inning.
Yeah, he's motivated. He's ready to go. He is not happy about the scoreboard right now. He's going to change it. Big swing. Expect a big swing from Gomez if we get something good to hit.
Ball one to Gomez.
Gomez didn't even flinch at that pitch. He knew exactly where that pitch was. Knew he wasn't going to swing at it.
Ball two. Looks like they're pitching around Gomez right now. Visit to the mound by the catcher.
They're pitching around him, I think, just because of circumstance. I don't think that was on purpose. I think he's just missing his spot, quite frankly, because if the plan was indeed to pitch around him, there wouldn't have been a mound visit.
That's true. Was in the same place, though. Both pitches.
It wasn't the same place. You're right about that. But I wouldn't doubt if the catcher went out there. Just throw a strike, will you?
Yep. Gets that one to the pitcher, and that'll be the end of the inning. Firebirds up 7-3. We'll be back with the top of the fifth inning.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, With an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat. In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
And we are back to Saguaro versus Chaparral. Chaparral currently up 7-3 in the top of the 5th inning.
You know, despite the scoreboard, this has been a back and forth battle, man. It is just when Saguaro, makes a good defensive play, Chaparral makes a good defensive play. When the bats are going for Chaparral, bats are usually going for Saguaro. It's just Saguaro hasn't capitalized as much as Chaparral has in key situations with runners in scoring position. That's what's making the difference in this game. But quite frankly, I talked about it earlier. This is going to be a long game. Why? They're both 11 and 9. They're both ranked in the 40s in Arizona State. So this is what you get.
Absolutely. As Reese Solar steps up to the plate, ball 1.
Miller's still out there for the SaberCats.
Ball 2 outside.
So I like how both teams like the performances of both their pitchers and are going to stick with them for innings to come unless something drastic happens.
Called strike there. 2-1. Swings through that one. 2-2.
Yeah, full count here.
Not quite. 2-2.
Okay. Oh boy.
Fouls that one.
Well, there you go, Matt. You finally caught me. The count is 2-2. No outs. So Miller trying to put him away here. Not trying to let Chaparral build something else. Now it's 3-2. Can I call that? 3-2, yeah. See?
Now it's full.
Now it's full.
As a nice block there by Gomez.
See,
Even though there's no one on base.
I predict the future. That's what I do.
Ground ball to short. Nice play there to get him right there. That ball hopped real high, almost over his head.
Beautiful job there by Bratspis. As you said, that ball jumped up. He jumped up with it, took it in, fired it to first. Out number 1.
And look who's up now, Gavin Mesa.
Gavin Mesa, the star today. Multiple RBIs, coming up in clutch situations. I mean, he came into this game with a 477 batting average. He's hitting about 483 now.
As he fouls that one.
He continues to be a star for the Firebirds. Standing at 6'3", 190 pounds, the senior leading this team to victory here tonight.
So far, so good for Mesa. We'll see if he can cash in again. And
Wow,
whoa, what
beautiful
a play
play
by the first baseman. I thought that was going to get past him.
He drilled that one. Did Mesa, and Bucieri was like, nope, not today. You ain't getting a hit. Snatches that one up at first base. Beautiful play there for out number 2.
Beautiful defensive plays we're seeing out here. As Tanner Anderson will now step to the plate.
Well, don't hit it to Bucieri because he'll just catch it.
Ball 1.
So Miller got a break there. All he has to do is get one more out, and he's out of this inning.
Absolutely. Ball 2.
Hitters count here. Miller's got to fight back into this.
Strike 1.
Gets the call there. Anderson is all like, ee. Thought that was a ball lump. Should be 3-0. But what ump says goes, so you got to make an adjustment.
Outside, 3-1.
The question is the green light on here?
I'd say so.
Miller comes set, delivers.
Strike 2, and we will have a full count.
There's a lot of those going around today.
Definitely, definitely. A lot of pitches from these pitchers.
Yeah, these batters making them work.
And that'll be a walk.
That was absolutely shocking. I was about to call strike 3 on that. No, it's a ball. Even Gomez is like, are you serious? And that's another factor. Never mind, maybe these pitchers are pitching so much because as a result of the umpire calls.
And we'll see a visit to the mound here.
I wish we had MLB graphics. Look at where this pitch was. Look at where this pitch was. I mean, good Lord.
Absolutely.
Gomez is still looking around dumbfounded. Still can't believe that call. So both teams going head to head, mad respect for each other. Been a very competitive matchup thus far.
Yes, indeed. As Miller will stay on the mound.
Because I can't stress this enough. This game is so much closer than what the scoreboard indicates.
Absolutely, absolutely. Multiple scoring opportunities. Runners on base. Great defensive plays. I mean, this has been a very entertaining game as Luke Santarius comes up to bat.
Yeah, Santarius, the senior, standing at 6 feet tall. Looking at widen this lead for Chaparral.
Strike 1.
Taking that first pitch. Nods to himself, gets back in the box, is like, okay. Let's see what we got here. What you got?
Strike 2 called again.
Santarius, I'm not sure he liked that call or wishes he would have swung at that. Either way, counts 0-2. Can Miller put it away?
Fouls it back and out of play.
So good job protecting the plate there by Santarius. Extending this at bat. Let's see if he can battle back and get a hit here for the Firebirds. Or can Miller put it away and keep the score where it is?
0-2. Grounds that to second base. Easy out. And that'll be the end of the inning. 7-3 Firebirds. When we come back, we'll have the top of the bottom of the 5th.
Hi, this is Henry Buckin from the Varsity Sports Show. Before Pat Tillman became a symbol, he was a star. At Arizona State University, Tillman was the heart of a dominant Sun Devils team that went undefeated in the regular season and came seconds away from a national title in the 1997 Rose Bowl. Undersized but relentless, he He won Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year honors. The NFL came calling. Tillman was drafted by the Arizona Cardinals in 1998, where his trademark intensity quickly made him a fan favorite. After just 3 seasons, he was offered a lucrative contract by the Rams, reportedly 3 times his current salary. But Tillman turned it down. Loyalty, he believed, wasn't for sale. Then came 9/11. Shaken by the attacks, Tillman and his brother Kevin enlisted in the U.S. Army in 2002, walking away from millions in the spotlight of professional football. He served tours in Iraq and Afghanistan as an Army Ranger, keeping a low profile and refusing media attention. He didn't want to be a poster boy, he just wanted to serve. On April 22, 2004, Pat Tillman was killed in Afghanistan. At first, the military called it enemy fire. But, weeks later, it was revealed that he died from friendly fire. There was a cover-up as the Pentagon delayed the truth, using his death to stoke patriotism while hiding the chaotic reality of war. Tillman had always resisted easy narratives. He read Chomsky, questioned authority, and sought complexity in a world that often demanded simplicity. In death, he became a symbol of American sacrifice. But those close to
And we are back. Saguaro versus Chaparral. Chaparral currently up 7-3. Kyle Miller steps up to the plate.
Yeah, they're going to help himself out here. He was on the mound, and now he's at the plate. We were going to use that today, but whatever.
As Miller fouls that one back, 1-1.
1-1 the count here. Miller known for hitting double-digit RBIs, but right now his focus is solely getting on base so the guys behind him can start chipping away at this lead that the Firebirds have.
And Miller flies that one to left, and the play is made.
There's been a lot of those. He knocked the crud out of that ball and still just came up a little bit short. And he's the first casualty of this inning.
As Kason Williams will now come up to the plate.
So Williams up at the plate.
Strike 1 to Williams.
He would love to undo the damage that the Firebirds did to him on the mound and start a rally for the Saguaro Sabercats and chip away at this lead.
Wow. And that one in the dirt. 1-1.
It's like he aimed at the floor on that one. You see how it's like when a football player spikes the ball into the football field? That's what that looked like. Yeah, that thing bounced. It's like, wow.
That one bounces too, but gets a piece of that. 1-2.
Might hit the catcher as well, but he seems to be all right. It's Foley.
1-2 the count, 1 out. Mangini the pitch. Williams pops that up. Right field.
Yeah, you know you want to get that out when you're out there, but geez, you don't want to crash into a wall.
No, definitely not. As that one will not be caught.
Yeah, Centarius did his damnedest to get over there and reel that one in, but geez, at the expense of your health. But he's safe. Everybody walked away.
Oh man, nearly hit him in the head on that one. 2-2 now.
Yeah, Williams having to recompose himself has had a frustrating day already, and now you're getting almost hit in the head. Yeah, I'd say it's a tough day at the office.
That one in the dirt, full now.
You know, Mangini's been doing well, but now he's starting to lose some gas and throw balls, which is not what they need. Like I said earlier, I really do firmly believe that head coach Troy Gerlach would love for Mangini to finish out this game. As you can see, both sides are short on arms.
Absolutely.
So they don't have a lot of house money to play with.
Nearly hits him again, but that'll be ball 4.
And usually when you start consistently missing, that's an indicator that the pitcher is starting to get tired.
Absolutely.
So they may have to keep an eye on Mangini here and get somebody warming up in the bullpen soon if he can't get it together.
Absolutely, as Jake Claver comes up to bat.
Yeah, Claver's done some damage in this game, keeping Saguaro up on the scoreboard as he pulses in the batter's box.
Ball 1 to Claver.
So Mangini again throwing a ball. 1-0 the count. He needs to reevaluate his release point and get this.
Gets that one, hits the pitcher, but looks like it'll be an out. Almost could have stepped on the bag there at second to get the double play.
Yeah, ricocheted off Mangini's glove. Halverson reeled it in, got the runner at first. He could have tagged second, but I think that play happened so fast that he wasn't able to process that.
Absolutely.
But yeah, typically you're absolutely correct. You want to get the lead runner.
As Vinny Keck is now up to bat. 2 outs here.
And what's even worse is that it would have been 3 outs.
Absolutely. Man on second.
When Halverson, Mangini touch gloves, and we're back
Bunts
to the
there down the third baseline, but foul.
Yeah, not a lot of successful bunt attempts we've seen today. A lot of them going foul, popping up.
Absolutely.
Can't get the bunts down today. That's on both sides.
Yep. Oh, 1 the count on Keck.
So Vinny Keck trying to get on base and keep the SaberCats half inning alive here in the bottom of the 5th.
That'll be ball 1. 1-1 the count. Check the swing there.
So Mangini getting a little bit of a break there. Should be 2-0, but he chuck swung, so let's see what he does with it.
The pitch, pop back, and out of play. Nearly hit us.
Jeez, I'm telling you, somebody's going to get popped one of these days, and it ain't going to be funny.
Nope, as is now 1-2.
Tell you, I would start letting these people know who build this stadium. Say, start making some shields, maybe some sun covers, do something, because this is absolutely brutal. All this technology, we can't find out a way to cover people.
Ball 2 is now 2-2.
I mean, let's get it right, folks. All right, back to the game.
That one popped up as well. First base. Plays made. That'll be the end of the inning. Firebirds up 7-3. We'll be back with the top of the 6th.
Hello everybody, my name is Tyler Wargo from Arizona State University reporting on behalf of Varsity Sports Show. And today we're going to be talking about someone who puts service above self, and that person is known as Pat Tillman. Pat Tillman not only represented the Arizona State Sun Devils, but he also represented the flag below me, which is the American flag and the U.S. military. He made a crucial sacrifice. He left Arizona State football to join the U.S. military and then later on passed away. And let's talk about that and let's go in depth at his sacrifice.
Pat Tillman, a linebacker out of Arizona State University, finished his career at ASU with 340 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 3 interceptions for 37 yards, 3 forced fumbles, 15 pass deflections, and 3 fumble recoveries. All of this in just 60 career games. Pat Tillman not only played defense for the Sun Devils, but he also played offense, and because of that, that gave him such talent and such skill that he eventually transitioned from college football on to the National Football League, and he actually stayed in the state of Arizona as he became a linebacker for the Arizona Cardinals. Tillman was not only an outstanding football player and scholar, but he was also an American hero, as he enlisted in the Army following the September 11 attacks and lost his life during a combat mission in Afghanistan. Ever since then, he has been an inspiration to everybody.
Overall, this Army veteran put a lot down on the line to serve for our country and to also serve for Arizona State football. And of course, he will be someone who will be always remembered by Arizona State athletics and Arizona State in itself, the university. He's gone, but not forgotten. We'll always remember Pat Tillman and his legacy that he left not only at Arizona State, but also just in the U.S. military. Someone who definitely cared a lot about serving the community and helping out the people he was around. So overall, I want to say thank you guys for listening.
And we are back. Devin Long now up to bat. Top of the sixth, 7-3 Firebirds.
And Kyle Miller's still on the mound for the SaberCats. Score still 7-3.
Gets a hold of that one, pops it up. Plays made in center field for the first out.
You know, I was going to say it seems like an eon ago that somebody scored, but realistically, an inning and a half ago is when somebody last scored.
Yep.
Or 2 innings. So they last scored, Chaparral did, in the top of the 4th inning. We are now at the top of the 6th, so 2 innings have gone by, no score.
As Jack Foley now up to bat, 1-0.
This has kind of turned into a sort of a pitcher's duel of its own, where Miller and Mangini, thank you, are just going at it. Not allowing runs, putting batters away, not allowing runners to score. Both doing a heck of a job here.
Both doing a heck of a job indeed as Foley fouls that one down the first base line, 1-1. Strike 2 to Foley.
And Miller doing a good job there, getting ahead of the count. Don't want to walk anybody because, again, that has been the biggest sin if I ever saw one in this game.
Absolutely.
Walking people.
And he swings through that one. Gomez can't find it, but eventually does, and that'll be the second out there.
Yeah, Gomez is like, what are you talking about? I'm just taking my time. That's it. Picking up the ball. You see that? You see how calm he was? He bobbled it, couldn't get it. He picks it up, taps his glove, looks down.
Yep, the composure was certainly there.
Second out. Let me tell you, you know how many catchers would have thrown that thing over the first baseman's head?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely ridiculous. The amount of, I'll tell you, he plays like a major leaguer already.
Yes, already. As Parker Halverson is now up to bat. 1-0.
Yeah, Halverson making some great defensive plays of his own over there at shortstop.
Halverson gets that to right field and is caught. That'll be the end of the inning. 7-3 Firebirds. We'll be back with the bottom of the 6th inning.
Drives inside, loses the ball.
From Vince, I don't know how he does it. Everything that he's doing with so many different schools, all the equipment that he has, just everything that he's put together really all by himself. I have so much respect for everything that he's set up, and giving us the opportunity to do this has been great. And because if I didn't do this, not sure how I would really get into this field. So for Vince, just the amount of respect I have for what he does and how he was able to set everything up has been amazing.
Going the extra mile like he does, I mean, sometimes, I think that's important to do, going the extra mile with stuff, and even though this is, not ESPN or one of these bigger companies, kind of to have that mindset when it comes to a broadcast. We're trying to, just knowing on this level that the expectation is being a professional and acting like it. And, there's obviously, it's not going to be perfect, but, just the importance of, doing your best work and that, you could always be better.
We started with, here in Arizona at least, we started with probably testing out a live stream with 5 football games in 2019. 2020, which was ultimately was the start of the pandemic, we grew and we added probably close to 30 games that year.
And we are back to Chaparral versus Saguaro. Chaparral currently up 7-3 in this ball game as we head towards the bottom of the 6th.
So Mangini did a heck of a job, but he was being taken out by head coach Troy Gerlach. And the pitching change will go to Truman Parker. who will relieve Mangini. So tough decision here for him to, replace pitchers, but I mean he's running out of gas.
Probably could tell from his warm-up pitches because he was warming up and then they just took him out.
Yeah, it's a tactical decision. It was a rough one, but Parker pitched 13 innings, gave up 11 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, 8 strikeouts. So, not a bad line. As far as stats go, I think this is the best I've seen today.
Definitely, definitely.
So, let's see if Truman Parker, the senior who stands at 5'9", can close this one out for the last 2 innings for the Firebirds. But he's got a tall task because, again, Saguaro, the 2024 4A state champs, are not just going to lay down. They're going to battle to the end, to the last man. So this is going to be an absolute war.
Absolutely. Excited for the finish in this one.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a long way to get there, though, but yeah. But credit to Mangini, Max Mangini. He did his job. He 8 innings, allowed for the bullpen to settle down, and allowed Gerlach to strategize exactly what direction he wanted to go in. And we're seeing the direction he wants to go in now in the form of Truman Parker. So we'll see how Parker fares, but so far, not bad. Parker's 1-0, has an ERA of 1.08. So let's see if he can bring that secret sauce to possibly the best game I've seen all season.
Absolutely been a great game. Ball 1 to center.
So Parker, first pitch in, is right in the dirt. So he's going to want to fix that.
Ball 2.
Misses low again. Maybe still trying to find his release point on the mound. Hitters count here for center.
Strike 1. 2-1 now.
Good job there by Parker to fire that thing in there. Take that strike and get back in the count.
Tries to frame that one, but it'll be ball 3.
Yeah, and here we go. The curse of the game. Let's keep walking people. He's in danger of doing that now.
Hits that one to short and mismanages it. Throws it in the dirt, and the first baseman cannot get there. He's going to second, and he'll get in safely.
See, a good read there by center. Center's the last one you want to make an error fielding to. Because that ball gets by you, he's going to take the extra base. That's what he does.
Absolutely. As we have a pinch hitter here, Henry Jacoby.
So Jacoby climbing into the box here. Saguaro, trying to get something started. This is a good start. Man on second. Let's see what they can pull out of this half inning because time is winding down. They have the bottom of the 6th to do what they got to do, and obviously the bottom of the 7th.
And he golfs that one to left field, but it is caught. First out of the inning.
Yeah, tough break there. Made good contact, line drive, but unfortunately for him, the left fielder able to navigate to his right, have a good read on that ball, take it in for out number 1 of this inning.
As we will go to the top of the order now, Luis Busseri now up to bat.
Oh, Buseri, another defensive standout at first base today.
Fouls that one off, strike one.
So Parker dealing with a situation where there's a man on second, one out. Let's see if Parker can mitigate how many people get on base.
Foul ball down the first base line. Strike two.
He's ahead in this count, 0-2, doing a heck of a job.
And we have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen.
Pitcher warming up in the bullpen for Chaparral. It is James Rule, who has a 2.10 ERA. So you couldn't pick anybody better to close out this game.
Ball one.
So good strategy by head coach Gerlach. Throwing your decent pitchers in the beginning, in the end of in the middle of the game, but then you're saving your elite pitchers, such as Parker and Rule, for the end of the game.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Especially when you have
Grounds
the
it to
lead.
the pitcher, looks to second, gets him out at first. 2 outs.
So Gerlach, he knows what he's doing out there.
Absolutely, as Xander Bratspis now up to bat.
So if Saguaro thinks it's going to get easier with the relief pitchers coming in, they better think again, because they got the heavy hitters coming in, the closers, out of that bullpen.
Strike one to Bratspis. And with Aline Gomez on deck, gotta be careful here.
Yeah, if you're Parker, you want this out right now.
Absolutely. Grounder to short. And an easy play, and we are out of the inning when we come back to a 7-3 game in the top of the 7th.
This is James Copeland from Arizona State University reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Everyone admires the legacy of the great Pat Tillman. He's known as an inspirational football story and an even better human in the process for the sacrifices he made for our country and his football career. Before we talk about Pat's run, we need to talk about a brief backstory of Pat Tillman. Pat was a standout football player at ASU, helping the team reach the Rose Bowl. He was then drafted by the Cardinals in the 7th round, becoming a fan favorite and helping the team get to their first playoff win in over 50 years. Then, out of a shock to everyone, Pat foregoed a contract extension with the Cardinals to enlist in the Army. In the wake of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, which took down the Twin Towers, attack of the Pentagon, and United 93, which a plane landed in the field. In unfortunate and controversial events, Pat lost his life in the Middle East, coming as a shock to everyone back home. The Pat Tillman Foundation was created in its wake and has had a major impact on the community ever since. With the Tillman Scholar Program, which is comprised of service members and veterans who aid in community events and the betterment of the world and community as a whole. The biggest event done by the foundation is Pat's Run. Started in 2004 by a group of friends aiming to honor his legacy, the race is 4.2 miles in honor of his number 42 and has grown to nearly 30,000 participants every year. The race is welcome to all walks of life and is an annual celebration of life for a man who gave up so much for us and our freedoms. The legacy of Tillman is stronger than ever, and with Pat's runaround, I don't think we will be forgetting about him anytime soon. For Varsity Sports Show, I'm James Copeland.
And we are back, top of the 7th here, Saguaro versus Chaparral. Jahir Jensen up to bat.
Yeah, trying to put this thing away, again, I keep saying this because it's true. Saguaro Sabercats, 2024 defending champs. You want more than 4 runs heading into the last inning, because there could be some heroics led by Alian Gomez.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So let's call it what it is here.
2-1 the count.
So Miller still in there. He's working like a champ out there.
Fouls that one back, 2-2.
There we go. Telling you. United States of America at large. Let's start getting some shields on the baseball fields. I don't care what level it is. Let's start protecting people.
Swings and misses on that one, and that's the first out of the inning.
Good job by Miller there, giving him different looks, elevating the pitch. Bam, striking him out. That's what you want to see.
Jack Molina now up to bat.
So Molina has been a crucial pillar in the team's success tonight, scoring a couple runs, getting on base.
And Molina grounds that one short, but unable to corral it, and he will be safe.
Yeah, and that's his biggest asset. You put the ball in play. You have speed like that, you never know what possibilities you're going to run into. And guess what? Instead of it being a routine out at first base, you now have a runner on first.
Absolutely, and now Reese Soler up to bat with the top of the order incoming.
Yeah, Soler, the 9th hitter, trying to set the table up for the top of the order, as you mentioned. And it could spell bad news for Kyle Miller and the SaberCats.
Hacks at that one, 0-1. Swings and misses at that one, 0-2. Fouls that one back. Out of play.
Yeah, that one went into the neighboring field. So, I mean, these guys are swinging it today. They want the extra base hits.
Ball one.
They don't want no bread. They don't want no water. They just want straight meat. Give me the doubles. Give me the triples. Home runs.
Throws the first. Safe.
Good pickoff attempt there by Miller, but Molina, one of the best base runners Chaparral has, so he knew immediately from the body language of Miller that he was going to throw over.
2-2 now. Full count now.
So Miller locked in another tight battle here with Soler. Best course of action is to go after him. You don't want to walk him.
Absolutely not. But he does. And now, Gavin Mesa up to the plate in a crucial situation. The Firebirds want to score to put this game out of reach. SaberCats want to get a double play here or something like that to keep the game within reach.
Yeah, definitely. You have two completely different agendas here. SaberCats want to end this inning right now. Get a double play, and Mesa wants to extend this one, but he gets hit right in the freaking back, and he's got to wear that one.
He will indeed, as now bases loaded, 1 out for Tanner Anderson.
And you saw the pause there. That was square in the spine. That hurt.
Yep.
That hurt me watching it.
Absolutely.
But you know what? I don't know. Maybe it's better to hit him than to leave a ball in the middle of the plate for him to whack, and now you're down even further.
Absolutely.
Personally, I'd rather see competition at the plate, but whatever.
Yep. As strike one called there to Anderson.
So fans at the edge of their seats here. Chaparral could break this thing wide open.
Hits that one foul. 0-2.
Because the SaberCats are already down by a boatload. Now you start talking about 5 and 6. Now you're getting out of reach of what's considered doable.
Absolutely. The pitch. Gets past Gomez, and that will score a run.
And Molina coming in, extending the lead to now 5, and Now it's tough because you still only have one out, runners on second and third, and with Tanner Anderson, who wants to stack up his RBI totals.
1-2 on Anderson. Gets that one foul.
That was great contact, great swing. Unfortunately for him, it goes foul, but that was a line drive hit. Typically, that's what you want to see.
Yep.
A lot of people have different philosophies on hitting, but if you're going old school, you want more of that line drive mentality. Forget this launch angle thing.
Absolutely.
But it really does depend who you talk to.
2-2 now to Anderson. One out. Runners on second and third. And that will be foul.
So Anderson making them work here.
Gets that one to third base, but it's mishandled, and another run's going to score.
Yeah, Williams had no chance on that one. They would have taken, I don't know if Manny Machado could have gotten that ball, but tough play there, and it's going to score another run for Chaparral, and now this thing's starting to get out of hand. The score should be 9-3 as soon as the scoreboard manager updates that.
And Luke Santarius will now be up to bat.
Yeah, Santarius, usually a dangerous hitter, hasn't done a whole lot today, but he has had a hand in this potential victory, it's looking like, for Chaparral.
1-0 to Santarius. Fouls that one back, 1-1.
Yes, and Santarius being cheered on by the Chaparral faithful. They want a big hit out of him. Runners on first and third. One ball, one strike, one out. A lot of ones to the sky.
Pops that one up. Third base side. And out of play.
Williams couldn't get there. He tried his damnedest to get over there, but just not enough steam on him to catch that ball. Even if he did get there in time, it's a tough play.
Absolutely.
Trying to navigate that ball heading into a wall.
One and two. One out. Runner on third. Grounds that one. Chopper goes to second, to first, and he's safe at first. But the second out of the inning is recorded as the lead runner is picked at second, and another run will score, making it 10-3. And now Devin Long comes up to bat.
Yeah, Chaparral has busted this one open. You're talking about a 7-run differentiation now, heading into the bottom of the seventh. When this inning is over, assuming that the SaberCats can get the out without giving up further damage. So the umpires seem to be discussing something. So Chaparral's offense coming through this inning, leaving nothing to chance, squaring balls up.
Strike one here.
And Kyle Miller's still working out there.
He's had a labor-intensive inning.
He's had a labor-intensive game.
Absolutely.
I mean, for the love of
Swings
everything.
through that one, 0-2.
For the love of everything that's holy, that man has been out there for
very long
at least 4 innings.
Yep.
And each inning has been devastating to the arm.
Ball in the dirt there, 1-2.
But it speaks volumes to his workout regimen, and because if you want the thing about pitching is if you want high stamina, you need to run at least 4 miles a day. typically what you want to do if you're a full-time pitcher.
Yep, legs are very important. So that one is chopped up the middle, and that'll be a base hit. So now Jack Foley comes up to bat. As we have runners on first and second, 2 outs.
So Miller's going to have to find some sort of way to get this last out, because if he don't, that number is going to jump from 7 to who knows what.
Swings through that one. 0-1, the count. And hits him in the ankle, and the bases will be loaded again.
Yeah, Foley's going to have to walk that one off. Right in the ankle, almost dang near fell over. And now bases are loaded, and Miller is just a sitting duck out there.
Absolutely, with Parker Halverson now up to bat.
There does seem to be some commotion in the bullpen, but it doesn't seem like they're going to be ready anytime soon.
Nope, and honestly at this point, 2 outs in the inning, why bother right now unless this game gets truly out of hand?
Yeah, Saguaro has not scored a run since the first inning.
Swings and misses, 0-2.
They put a crooked number up the first inning of 3. Rest of the game flies by, and it's a bunch of donuts. Nothing doing for the SaberCats, and now they're down 7 runs, allowing 2 runs in the second, 3 runs in the third, 1 in the fourth, and now 3 here in the 7th. And he finally gets a strikeout.
And he gets the punch out, and we will be back 10-3 for the bottom of the 7th.
In 2019, the JV Sports Show podcast began with the idea of spotlighting young people in our community. In time, that podcast evolved into radio, television, and live stream, and through that evolution, new ideas have enhanced delivery, giving a stage to students both in front of and behind the microphone in Arizona and beyond. Thank you for supporting the Varsity Sports Show, now the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 educational organization. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
And we are back to Saguaro versus Chaparral, 10-3 here, bottom of the 7th inning. And Eileen Gomez is going to be up to bat for Saguaro in their last breath.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going to see some 7th inning heroics, this man is going to have to start it off, because this is the last shot. This is it. Down 7 runs. You want to win this game? You got to give me 8 right now. That's what the game is calling for. Meanwhile, on Chaparral side, we have Austin Falkenberg. And ladies and gentlemen, if I had stats on him, I'd present them. But I do not have any stats on Falkenberg, but we do know the man is a right-handed pitcher, senior, standing at 6'4". Talk about making everybody look like a shrimp next to him.
So Gomez will lead this off.
So Falkenberg looking to go 3 up, 3 down. As Gomez steps into the plate, gets set, down 7. Let's see what the SaberCats can do.
Ball 1 low.
They are still the 2024 state champs. So let's see what they can pull out here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Gomez gets that one to second, mishandled, and he will reach first.
See, this is why you always run it out. Right there. Now they have a runner on first base, and maybe they can get something cooking here.
Maybe.
As Kyle Miller will step in, and this man is looking to get an RBI of his own.
And we have a pinch runner here. Looks like it's Davis Diller.
Davis Diller, the outfielder, the junior, stepping in, known for his speed, which is obvious, otherwise he wouldn't be a pinch runner. But let's see what Kyle Miller can do here. If he can keep the ball rolling for the SaberCats, or can Falkenberg put it away?
Ball 1 high.
And that's what the SaberCats can do. They can wait for their pitches, not help the pitchers out by swinging at junk. But they have a long way to climb in this game if they want to be the victors.
Ball 2 outside.
So hitters count here for Miller. Miller usually dangerous up at the plate and hasn't been much of a factor in this one.
Miller golfs that one. That'll drop. First and second now, no outs. SaberCats could be cooking something here.
Good swing by Miller there, driving it to the gap, but give credit to the outfielder out there, cutting that ball off and mitigating how far the Saguaro SaberCat runners could get on the base pass.
Absolutely, as Kason Williams now steps up.
So Kason Williams will step into the box. They're going to get the ball rolling for the SaberCats. Keep it rolling. Good breaking pitch there.
Good breaking pitch indeed. Strike 1 there.
Falkenberg showing what he can do.
Absolutely. Strike.
Doubled up on that pitch, and it's working. You know, if the SaberCats are destroying the fastballs, why keep throwing him fastballs? Let's change it up. And he's smart enough to analyze that and make that decision.
And they called a balk here, so it'll be second and third now.
Ooh, that's not good for him.
Swings through that one, 0-2.
No, Williams has a golden opportunity here to start chipping away at this lead.
Absolutely. Will he do it? We'll see.
Oh, and 2 the count.
Gets that one foul.
Yeah, Williams wishing that would have been a fair ball. Would have helped the cause out a bunch, but unfortunately for him, it goes foul. And the score is going to stay where it is.
Almost hits him, 1-2.
So Williams trying to stay alive, keep that ball rolling, keep the lineup moving.
Golfs that one foul and out of play.
Staying alive is Williams, fighting hard. I mean, you know, in baseball, anything's possible. When a team wants it that much, they can make it happen. We could be seeing some last inning heroics if he keeps going this way.
That one bounces in the dirt. Nice save there.
And Williams fighting back hard, was down in the count 0-2. Now it's even at 2-2. Williams not offering up at anything that's too high or too low.
It's that one foul.
Yeah, swung a little early on that one. Came off the tip of the bat, went foul. So the SaberCats trying to claw their way back into this matchup.
Pops that one up.
Another ball fouled.
And foul out of play.
Hey, Williams refuses to die in this at bat. He will not go away. We're getting close to double-digit pitches in this at bat, folks.
Gets that one to third base. Throws it to first, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Run does score, however, making it 10-4.
So Diller will score. It'll cut the deficit to 6 with 1 out. Man on second base.
And it looks like we have a pinch hitter here. Connor Hansen now up to bat.
The freshman, who is usually playing the outfield or pitching, put in a big spot here, being trusted to keep this inning alive.
Fouls that one.
Can't quite catch up to these pitches, can the SaberCats? Keep fouling them off. That
Ball in the dirt.
Spiked.
1-1.
And Williams, or I'm sorry, Miller on the base pass, getting hyped up, trying to keep his team in the game.
1-1 the count. 1 out.
He might be mad at himself for not trying to steal third on that pitch.
Absolutely. Fouls that one back. 1-2.
And Falkenberg, man, he's really not letting them hit much of anything. Bunch of foul balls, and geez, I mean, we're seeing more action as the audience with the balls coming towards us and the actual fielders.
Fouls that one back.
So the Saguaro faithful is trying to keep their team into this. We're actually seeing some rally caps being thrown on by the JV team, who is sitting bench side over here. Very passionate about their baseball here at Saguaro.
Very indeed. 1-2 the count. Swings through that one, and that'll be out number 2.
Beautiful pitch, carved them up. That was absolutely nasty. That was ridiculous. He never stood a chance. Hansen went up there and just, you might as well not even brought a bat up on that one.
And the last man standing for the SaberCats. It's Vinny Keck.
Yeah, Keck trying to do what he can against Falkenberg, but again, that pitch is deadly.
Deadly indeed. Strike one called.
That thing is starting up. That pitch is starting up where the letters are, and by the time it gets to the strike zone, it hits the belt. That is awesome. Great pitching here.
Ball 1.
And he gives you a fastball to boot. And when you're trying to climb up from a 7-run deficit, that is not what you want to be dealing with. They got one, but it's not looking like it's going to be enough here against Falkenberg.
Ball 2 outside.
So Falkenberg looks in for the sign. Come set. Strike
Bounces that one. 3-1.
And the thing is, if you're playing with house money. You're up 6 runs. You got 2 outs. He just needs to get this last out, and Firebirds are home free.
And he will walk him.
So good take there by Keck, and it'll bring up the next batter up. Sinner. So 10-4 here. Chaparral still in front. And it looks like we're going to have a mound visit here. So Falkenberg been very hit or miss. When he's on, good Lord, does he strike people out. He strikes people out, but what he's doing is he's also missing his spots and walking. So it's very hit or miss with him, literally.
Absolutely. And it looks like it's starting to rain here. It's getting heavier. We just got 1 out to play, and
see, this is absolutely incredible. You know, I got rained out the last game, and I'm trying to tell you right now, I am not looking to take another trip to Soak City. I just refuse.
Strike 1 called.
Strike 1 called. I think maybe the sky's crying because this game ain't over yet, but it's been a competitive one so far, and we're trying to protect our gear here. Because unlike Nike apparel, it ain't waterproof. That one's drilled.
Drills that one. And the catch is made, and Chaparral will win 10-4.
That was a beautiful play there. Absolutely beautiful play. That one was drilled to right center, and he tracked that one down perfectly.
And for all of us here at Varsity Sports Show, I'm Matthew Singer alongside Jorge Montiel. Chaparral ends up winning this one 10-4. Good night, everyone. We'll see you next time.